Today we're gonna do a review of the WANDRD Nimbus 18L backpack. In this video, I'm gonna take my experience of reviewing 500 plus of the world's best bags, and we're gonna tear this MFR apart. We're gonna talk about the pros and the cons, we're gonna pack it out. I'm gonna give you my honest takes. In the case that you're not quite sure this is the bag for you, you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video, where I'll make some alternative bag recommendations that might better suit your needs. Let's talk about the gist of the WANDRD Nimbus 18L backpack. A little background on the brand. WANDRD is a US-based carry company from Utah. And Utah is known for its incredible mountains, great outdoors, and people taking photos of all this beautiful nature. So WANDRD makes gear that caters to that lifestyle. They're kind of like on the rad side. Like, yo, dude, cool pack. That pack's rad. But I mean that with all the endearment of the world. And this bag in particular is bringing some pretty rad things to the table. Let's talk about them. Some of its top features are its dual external water bottle pockets, a tiny but effective quick access top pocket, a half zip opening to the main compartment, which also utilizes a quick access pocket here, which I got some thoughts about. We'll talk about that in the next chapter. And the Nimbus also gives you a couple of side handles and load lifters. Quite an interesting design choice on an 18L backpack. Are they necessary? Are they overkill? Are they just a marketing ploy? We'll talk about that 3 chapters from now. As of recording, the Nimbus comes in 3 color options. Now let's talk about the bag size. We got a height of just under 19 inches, a width of 12 inches, and a fully packed out base depth of around 7 inches. All of which leads to 18 liters in storage, allegedly. But here at Nomads Nation, we always double check these things. Now the thing about 18 liters is it's a great size for everyday carry. In fact, it's kind of like my ideal size. Over the past years, 20 liters has kind of overtaken 18 and 19 liters as the preferred EDC size, but I love a good 18 liter. Okay, you can see right here the main compartment fully loaded up. All right, elevating this for the camera. That main compartment is clocking in at 5, 10, 15, just a little over 15 liters. Let's call it 16, 17, which is perfect because we didn't measure the smaller pocket, nor did we measure the laptop compartments. Yeah, I'd say all in all, pretty spot on. This bag's 18 liters for sure. So I love that WANDRD nailed their volume, but I don't love the weight as much. Claiming this bag weighs 2.6 pounds, which I'm getting 2.5 pounds on scale number 1 and 2.6 pounds on scale number 2, which for an 18 bag, not gonna lie, pretty darn heavy. The sweet spot for me is usually 10 liters to 1 pound, which this bag is going significantly over. But it's not a big deal as long as the bag's comfortable, which we'll analyze quite soon. I got some things to say about that. This is the WANDRD Nimbus when it's empty. And this is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. I'm 5'8", and our media manager Margaret is 5'2". And don't worry, we're gonna pack out the bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. All WANDRD bags are covered by their WANDRD More Worry Less warranty, which is lifetime, but I'll be honest, I haven't heard much chatter about how well they do or do not honor that warranty. But actually, if I haven't heard anything, given how popular WANDRD is, that's probably a good thing. Probably means they are honoring the warranty. And for all that, the Nimbus runs around 180 US dollars. And if at any point during this review, you're thinking to yourself, holy crap, he wasn't lying, that is one rad bag, totally getting one. And you're gonna make a purchase, we highly recommend doing so using the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps us support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about the front of the WANDRD Nimbus 18L. Starting with the aesthetic. And I polled the Nomads Nation community about how they felt about the look of this bag. And as of recording, we got almost 1,000 votes, with 18% of our community saying they love it, 8% hating it, but 74% saying it's average, which I would say is actually a very good score. The Nomads Nation community, quite harsh with their aesthetic ratings sometimes. And I think that overwhelming average score does kind of really epitomize the aesthetic of this bag, as where it's pretty low key. It doesn't make a statement. It's a little urban, it's a little outdoorsy. I think it's actually got a cool, above average look to it. But it's definitely a lot more discreet and subtle in that way. One thing that's helping that is WANDRD's lower key branding with the black on black, much appreciated. And also we've got this fabric that's being utilized as well, which I'm not too stoked about because it's not specified on the website what fabric this is. Triple checking, description, product highlights, external organization, dimensions, back, chest strap, is that it? Padded shoulder straps, grab handles. Yeah, I'm searching for it, guys. I can't find it. So if it's there, it's buried. And I don't like that because I just don't know what to expect from this material, because a material like this, a fabric like this, has pros and cons potentially. On the pro side, we can tell you with 100% certainty, this is going to be weather resistant as all hell. look at how rubbery the fabric is. You can see water just easily slide right off of it. And that extends to the sides of the bag. Everything in this bag is using very weather-resistant fabrics. But the problem with weather-resistant fabrics is that sometimes they can peel. This plasticky finish, I don't know what the face is. If it's tarpaulin, we got a chance of everything being okay. Extremely unlikely to peel. If it's a PU finish, it's the opposite end. It's much more likely to peel, especially if you're living that Utah outdoorsy photographer lifestyle, and this bag's gonna be in a lot of humid conditions and sunlight. If you have any more information about the fabric choice of these bags and whether or not it'll peel, please let us know in the comments below. It can definitely help somebody make a buying decision. Aside from that, we got a couple external lash points at the top. You can just clip things on to the outside of the bag. And we also got lash points on the side of the bag as well. I think that's it for the front, guys. The next section, though, we'll have a bit more to talk about, so let's just dive into it. Let's talk about the middle of the WANDRD Nimbus 18-liter backpack. Starting with the bottom, you can see right here, really nice sexy curve to it, which means when you're carrying it, it's just got a kind of like sexy silhouette and figure. But it also means that it's not gonna self-stand very well, as you got like that tapered sort of a bottom. It's got a chance, but this is definitely not like a top tier self-standing bag. On the bottom of the bag, we also have more external lash points here, so you can clip things on, yoga mat, tripod, good spot for a jacket. Let's talk about these water bottle holders, because I like-y. Should be noted too, these pockets can carry more than just water bottles. For me, living in Hong Kong, urban, dense environment during monsoon season, it's a great spot for my umbrella, so you can slide right in there. The fabric has some elasticity to it, not a lot. And you can see this little buildup of excess fabric on the bottom here, and that's to give the water bottle pockets more volume, especially when the bag's filled out, which we're gonna test when the bag is filled out in just a second. Actually, I want you guys to go here, stay there. Now, talking about the main compartment, here's another big con of the bag for me, is going to be the fact that this is the only access point into the bag. Now, I'm gonna admit, I used to be very against this. Now I'm only slightly against it. I'm kind of actually digging the non-clamshell design for non-travel bags. But if you're somebody who really prioritizes quicker access to the main compartment, this design, you might not have a good time. Inside here, we have a zippered mesh pocket at the top and two side mesh pockets. And then this mesh zippered pocket as well. Let's pack it out and get an idea of how it all works together. Now, I like an 18-liter bag because it very clearly knows what it is. And that is a non-travel bag, unless you travel like super light. If you can travel a weekend with an 18-liter, by itself, I commend you. Job well done. But for most of us, it's either gonna be the personal item that's accompanying your suitcase or just your everyday carry backpack. So we're gonna load it out with a bunch of everyday carry stuff. I'm gonna throw my tech pouch at the bottom. That's from JSD. I got a second tech pouch from Evergood. I just bought this one. The X-Pack Coyote interior. It looks so good. Again, that at the bottom. And we're already like, halfway full. 18 liters is not too big. I think that I like 18 liters because I'm a smaller dude. I'm 5'8", so it actually looks like a decent bag on me where I'm not like being swallowed by the monstrosity of fabrics and everything else. But I understand why some people think it's way too small because, we've lost half of our packing space already. I'm gonna get some more stuff in here so you can see I got a rain cover. And it should be noted too, this is not going to be a great bag for somebody who likes a ton of organization. There's not a lot of pockets going on, right? So I'm just go ahead and throwing these in the main compartment, which is kind of how I roll a bit more these days. But yeah, I don't know, what about you? What's your take on the pocket situation with this bag? Not enough? Too many? Let me know what you think in the comments below. So we're pretty full here. Now let's talk about this pocket, because I think it's interesting as to where what it is saying, hey, to access this pocket, you gotta unzip the main compartment, and then you do this, right? So they put the zipper on top of this pocket, or actually on the bottom of the pocket, so when you flip it, it's then on top. Which means when you flip it, it's really cool and easy to access. And you're like, yo, I'm gonna throw my AirPods and my battery in there, right? The things that I want quicker access to. That's dope. But it also means that you gotta do the flip every time, because you can't just unzip and then grab what you want sneaky real fast, right? You're fully committed. Every time that you want whatever's in that pocket, you're fully in the unflap mode. But that access when you've unflapped is pretty sick. So I wanna know what you think. Comment request number 2. Would you prefer the zipper to have been at the top, like traditional, so then you can access it here if you just wanna pop in real fast, or just like the full access like this? I think it's an interesting design choice. It's gonna be controversial, but it was bold, so I give WANDRD credit for that. But I wanna hear what you gotta say. Let me know in the comments below. Notice too, behind this pocket is a little sleeve, which is absolutely useless, but I see hidden behind the sleeve is a little AirTag spot so you can slide your AirTag in there and keep it nice and surreptitious. Is that the right word? It's out of the way. Surreptitious. I don't know why I thought of that word. Great word though. Surreptitious. Sounds like I'm in a Shakespeare book. Side pockets, good spot for things you want quicker access to. I'll throw my gum right here. I like this mesh. It's a Darlington mesh, I think it's referred to as. It's got that elasticity to it. In the back sleeve, I'm gonna throw my notebook, or am I? Let's see if this fits. It don't, that's a no-go. But glasses, for sure. And I will say that while the lack of access to things at the bottom of the bag is tough within the main compartment, WANDRD has done a good job of prioritizing access on the top of the bag, right? So we have pocket on the top, pocket on the top, pocket on the top, pocket on the top, the quadfecta of northernly located pockets, which do make quick access a little bit easier, even with the main compartment zipperage being designed the way that it is. Another tech pouch, a tote, zip it on up, pretty full. Water bottle holders. Let's test them. You can see we've still got some space to play with even though the bag is full, so the 24-ounce Columbia fits very nicely. And look at what happened at the bottom here. You can see that actually this is the bottom of the bottle. And that's a really nice design from WANDRD. Pros and some cons with that. The con is like, it just looks a little less sexy. You can see this is a little buildup of fabric on the bottom, but these are functional design choices, function over form in this particular case, as to where that extra volume just makes this water bottle really easy to slide in. And you can see like, this is great. But will I feel the same about the 1 liter Yeti? A little tighter, but yeah, absolutely. That slaps. Now, one thing to note is that this fabric is all lined down this side. Let me show you of the bag here. And this fabric is very rubbery, which means when you're taking the bottle in and out, it gets a little stuck, which on the con side is like annoying to put in and to take up. On the pro side, it actually kind of keeps your bottle more in place. And another thing that helps keep your bottle more in place are these guys right here, which are compression straps, right? And you can go ahead and take this, loosen it, pop it into place, tighten it, and now your water bottle, extra secure, upside down testing it. We are Gucci, baby. So not gonna lie, these water bottle pockets are killer functional. Northward of the buckles, we have some more lash points. Again, you can just clip things externally on any lash points, like whether it's these front ones, the side ones, the shoulder strap ones. I never clip things externally on my bags, except for sunglasses, because it's something that I'm always grabbing. So it's the only thing that I've ever clipped on to a bag. It kills the sleekness, but it does give you better access. Speaking of access, let's talk about this pocket here. Not the best access. First of all, we've got this little chode keychain, which bad for access, right? Because like if I need to grab my keys, I gotta take this bag off, unzip it, and then I've got this much to work with. Thanks, WANDRD. I appreciate all the space you've given me. So then I gotta unclip it. I will say, official terminology, it's an easier unclipper than some other hardware I've reviewed, but still, you're gonna get like a decent little bicep workout by trying to get your keys out of this spot. For me though, I'm going basically keyless these days, so I'll just utilize this pocket for my shades. But I'm gonna say it's a small pocket. There's not a lot of space. So if you use this for other things like boarding pass and passport when you're traveling, I don't think those things are gonna fit, dude. So it's a tiny pocket. Also, speaking of these zippers, they should be YKK at the price point. And they are. Good thing, otherwise we would have had a bad time. I knew WANDRD wouldn't screw around with that though. And one thing also WANDRD never screws around with are these zipper pullers right here, which I don't love the look of them, but you can do this with them. I first fell in love with these zipper pullers with the Duo backpack, which RIP is now discontinued. It was one of my favorites. I love the Duo. And it used a variation of these, and I remember I was doing something, and I was like about to zip something, and my bag literally slipped, and I was like, oh my God! I just couldn't believe what had happened. And that's what these zipper pullers give you in terms of their functionality. Last note is the top handle. It's good. I think this bag has a strong handle game. We'll talk about the two other handles in just a second. But this is made from a really nice nylon webbing. We got reinforced stitching on 1, 2, 3 locations of each side of the handle, and plenty of grabbage space as well. Now, before we talk about the other handles and the entire back of the bag, I want to let you know that if you're enjoying this review and you're not already, you should sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter. As to where I'm like your reporter in the field, telling you like what the newest drops are, what's happening in the industry, and you get exclusive access to our discount codes and exclusive giveaways. If you're a bit of a gearhead, whether travel or EDC or both, believe me, this newsletter is an absolute game changer, and we're super proud of it, and I would love for you to be a part of it. And to do so, all you gotta do is find this globe emoji in the description below. Hope to see you in your inbox. All right, let's talk about the back of the WANDRD Nimbus 18-liter backpack. Starting with the tech compartment, notice that WANDRD has moved away from PU-coated zippers on their laptop compartment, which I'm a big fan of. We're starting to see that across the board because PU-coated zippers are starting to really peel as this industry ages. So does the amount of time that people have their bags. So does the amount of comments that I'm getting that are saying, my bag zippers are peeling. How do I fix that? You can't. There's no way to fix a peeling PU-coated zipper. The tech compartment itself, access is kind of brutal. That was just the first word that came to mind. As where we only have this tiny little opening, just, I mean, it looks like a lot, 13 inches, but it doesn't feel like a lot. Another reason for that is like the hardness of this back panel. It just kind of restricts your ability to open this. But if you're into simple tech compartments, then you're gonna love it because it should fit up to a 16-inch MacBook Pro. This is our 16-inch MacBook Pro 3D print. You can see it does fit, just barely. A lot of padding on the back panel of this bag, which makes the laptop much more secure. But how about the false bottom? It's all right. We're at about here for the false bottom, which means there's a little bit of space between the bottom of the laptop and the bottom of the bag, which means if you drop it, the bag is less likely to get hurt. And this back panel is crazy, dude. It's so, there's a very thick plastic panel in there. I didn't notice it when I was wearing the bag, so it actually makes it kind of comfy in some ways, but yeah, it's very interesting. I wonder if it's removable. So you can see right here on the back, the zipper is only here, based on my understanding of these design decisions, for a reason. Is the only way to put this plastic sheet in there was to do it at the end, right? So you can see, that's the plastic sheet that's giving the back panel so much structure, which means that it could potentially be removable. We're not gonna test that on this channel, but if you've tested it, please let us know what happened in the comments below. Now moving on to comfort, I found this to be a really comfortable wear. I used it as my EDC for the past few days. We've got contoured shoulder straps, load lifters, sternum strap, and a really nice back panel. But before we jump into that, actually, crap, I'm skipping some things. All right, we'll talk about comfort in just a second. First of all, we got these side handles, which I think are kind of dope. I like them because they're out of the way. Most of these side handles kind of make the bag look a little dorky. Think like the new Aer Tech Pack Pro 2. The new design came out, there's a lot of handles and there's a lot of like ear-ness going on in the bag. But with these side handles, WANDRD gave you the quick access goodness that you all want, but without dorkifying the bag. They got a really nice feel to them, good material, and a bit of grab space. I don't think you're gonna use these handles to carry the bag in briefcase mode super often. It's just like when you're out on the Moab, trail, and it's like, yo, fucking rattlesnake over there. Let's go take pictures of it. You just grab your bag real fast to go check out the rattlesnake. Here we have a small little back panel pocket, which I like the spirit of. Don't love the execution of. It's only, less than, we're at 6 inches on the dot. That's small. Now 8 inches is usually the way to go for a back panel pocket like that. And the 2 inches doesn't sound like it goes a long way, but it does. As to where this one is just really, really tight. And like I said, I'm a smaller dude, I'm 5'8", my hands aren't huge. So getting your wallet and or boarding pass out of there is going to be a bit of a challenge, especially if the bag is fully packed out. Now the reason they did that though is because, as you can see, we've got a luggage pass-through right here. So they couldn't extend the zipper any further. So, there's always a trade-off if you want all these features. So while I don't love the hidden back pocket, let's see if I love the luggage pass-through holder, which I think I'm going to. 2 reasons. 1, it allows you to carry the bag upright, the way it should when you're traveling with it. I mean, that's perfect, right? And number 2, it's not too tight or too loose. Too loose and you can feel it on your back when you're wearing it. Too tight and you feel like it's just gonna pop out. This isn't pulling too hard. A little bit on this side, but more or less it seems like it's not gonna pop out anytime soon. Now with the back panel, we've got some really nice ventilation. This is the kind of back panel that I like, as to where you can see we have these 3D cuts where wind can just kind of on through, therefore providing some ventilation to your back, especially on hot, sweaty July days in Hong Kong, like it's been the past few days that I've been using this bag. It's been a nice back panel. And although I'm shocked as to how much structure the back panel has, I like a more structured back panel because it keeps the back nice and straight. It just feels nice against your back, in my opinion. And you can see on the back panel as well, the padding is really nice. It's not too thick, so it's getting too chunky on your back. It's a really well executed back panel, for my preferences. Everyone's different, Shoulder straps, I liked. I didn't quite adore them the way I like the back panel. They're nice shoulder straps. Like I said, the contoured design is really comfy. We've got a width of just over 2 inches, which is great for an 18-liter backpack. They could have gone a little bit thinner. And the depth of the padding, just a little over 1 cm, which I think it's great. I think the thing that I'm not as sure about is padding. It's a little denser than what I prefer, but overall, it was a really comfortable wear the few days that I was wearing it. Let's talk about the load lifters, because I feel like, I don't know if those are necessary. And I am team load lifters. I love load lifters. What load lifters allow you to do is to redistribute the weight of the bag from your lower back more towards your torso, which this kind of did. And why I'm questioning this is that load lifters are typically used on larger bags. As for the back panel is like a certain size, right? Usually up to 22 inches. And the straps will be like connected to here, but there's extra space there. So like the load lifters are just more required for comfort on larger bags. For smaller bags though, I just don't know if they're quite as necessary, but I love the spirit. I'm all about it. And there's just something psychological about load lifters. There's just something about when you go, all right, yo, bag on, sternum strap, you ready? It's like, wait, one more thing. You just crack those into place. It's very satisfying. And then once those are cracked into place, now you're like, yo, now I'm ready, let's go. Sternum strap is an interesting one. Again, this is another way to redistribute the weight from your lower back. Hashtag back health. These are really hard to adjust. You can't just like slide it up and down. You gotta pop it off and then connect it back to the location that you prefer, which works really well. And then best of all is WANDRD has brought great joy to our little friend here today. And while he's protesting, he no needeth protest against WANDRD, no moreth. Put down a little sign, buddy, don't you worry, because WANDRD has us taken care of with a dangle. We've got a dangle stopper here and 2 dangle stoppers here. Your work here is finished. Go get a beer. Overall for the comfort, I give it like a 4.25 to a 4.5 out of 5. And a lot of that's the spirit of this bag. A lot of smaller bags have like daintier shoulder straps and more, smaller figures and silhouettes because they want to be dainty and like really sexified. But WANDRD said, F that, we're gonna put a priority on comfort for this 18-liter bag. And I think they did a really, really, really fine job with it. But also keep in mind that everyone's body type is different and comfort preferences, they vary. So if you wanna ask what anybody else thinks about this bag in terms of comfort or their experience with it or anything else, you can always ask in the comments, but you should definitely ask in the Nomads Nation subreddit. We got one of the biggest communities of bag nerds there, and there should be somebody to help you out and let you know what their experience with this bag or any other bags is like. Okay, let's wrap this review up and talk about the overall pros and the cons of the WANDRD Nimbus 18-liter backpack. Pro number 1 is the extremely functional water bottle holders. There's 2 of them. And they both slap. Pro number 2 is this is a very comfortable backpack at 18 liters. And pro number 3 is just gonna be the overall simplicity of the user experience. It's quite a minimalist bag, and I really enjoyed interacting with it. But on the flip side, we got cons too, and con number 1 is gonna be a pro for some, but it is that simplicity. For some people, it's not gonna be enough pockets. It's not gonna be enough features. Might just be a bit on the boring side. Con number 2, quite annoying for me, was the lack of access with the main compartment. And con number 3 is just how tiny and kind of unusable it felt at times that this top pocket was as well. But just a reminder, if you're still here and you've weighed the pros and the cons, and you're thinking about making a purchase or you want to find out more information, we do request doing so with the first link in the description below. It just makes sure that you get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's what it'll be. But if you're not quite sold, I tease some alternative bag recommendations because I don't care what bag you buy. I don't care if you buy a bag. But if you do buy a bag, I just want you to make sure it's like the best bag for what you need. So let's talk about what else is on the market. The first video I recommend watching, especially if you're new to the channel, is the Nomads Nation leaderboard rankings. This is where me and the Nomads Nation team, there's 4 of us, we all get together and talk about our favorite bags and our favorite distinct bag categories. This will give you an idea of what the best options are on the market. You can interact with the Nomads Nation team. It's the best place to start to kind of get an idea of all the best options. But if you think we're pretty close with the Nimbus, I'm gonna give you a couple of alternative recommendations that are close, but just do it a little bit differently. Alternative recommendation number 1 is gonna be the Aer Tech Pack 3. This is a good pick for you if you like the materials and fabrics of the WANDRD Nimbus and kind of the vibe, but you want better tech protection and more organization. Air's a bit more on the urban side, a little less outdoorsy, but the Tech Pack is definitely an underrated bag, especially for its price point. And alternative recommendation number 2 is going to be the Able Carry Daybreaker. Great pick for you if you're looking for that outdoorsy kind of a bag. You don't really need the laptop protection, but you're a little disappointed at the weight of this bag. I forgot to mention, it's another one of the big cons, 18 liters, 2.6 pounds. The Daybreaker is gonna give you the same sort of access, the same minimalist experience, but like better materials and lower weight across the board. Honestly, all 3 bags are really cool and they're all bringing different things to the table. They all have their own pros and cons, but to learn more about the 2 alternatives pros and cons, be sure to watch these videos right here. I'm gonna leave both videos up for a second so you can decide which one interests you more. In the meantime, if you got any questions, be sure to let us know in the comments below or in the Nomads Nation subreddit. And no matter what video you end up watching, if you make a purchase, we do recommend doing so with the first link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron. This is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you guys next time.